Okay, let's get this started immediately. Immediately, just opening up chess.com and sharing its screen. Great. So now you all can see the screen. Comment if you could see it. And okay, I see we already have some viewers. If anyone wants, they are welcome to put their name down in the comments, and I would be happy to play them. And if it is within my ability, to coach them as well. So if anyone wants, they can just put their name down in the little chat over there. Um, and and yeah, hopefully I should be able to um, give them some interesting and helpful lessons. Okay, so we've already got 2 likes. We've got a few chats, but nobody has put their username in the chat. So I guess in the meantime, I will go on chess.com and well, have a little fun on there, I suppose. Um, and Yeah, okay. Just a reminder, if for anyone that wants, just to put their name in the comments, and of course, I would be happy to play them and happy to coach them when I do it. So you could either send me a challenge or put your name in the comments, and of course, I would be happy to help you. So, um, yeah, put it in the comments, or challenge me, and I would be happy to play you, happy to help you. In the meantime, I'm going to go maybe play a bot until somebody challenges me or puts their name into the comments, and this game really quickly. Obviously, I'm not going to have a game with the maximum, but also obviously um, this is just while we wait to play somebody that we can help greatly. So I would appreciate if you would put your name in the comments, or send me a challenge, and I would love to play you. So in the meanwhile, until somebody puts their name in there, I'm gonna play Coach Levy at a 600 level, or I'm just gonna switch that to 400. That way I can um, get a lesson out of it. I suppose in the meantime, I could. I don't know if my username is visible. Oh yeah, my username is down there. Geekbros123. So I'm gonna play him. I'm gonna be helping while I do it. So e4. He plays e5. Bishop, knight to f3. He takes out his bishop. I'm gonna take the pawn. Um, he goes for the little scholar's mate pattern over here. This is something that I don't really recommend, and this is kind of the coaching starting in the video. This is something that I don't recommend, which is bringing your queen out too early. I talk about this a lot, and I don't find it any smart. So how do you defend the pawn? Well, I'm gonna play queen e2. Um, defend both pawns. That way he can take neither of them, and he decides to go g5. G5, I don't like that move either. It's very weakening, and it allows me to just kick your queen. Um, His queen goes back. See, the good part about playing bots is I don't have to. First of all, I don't have to feel bad about destroying them. Second of all, I don't have to wait on any moves. I I suppose just fianchetto the bishop. I'm gonna castle. Well, after I get my knight out of there, just back attacking the bishop. That was fine move, but not great. Um, Knight a6. I don't know how much I like because getting your knight out here is fine, but the knight really does belong on the square. A better move probably would have been something like bishop to b6, just putting the bishop back and enjoying that. But okay, knight a6, and I'm actually not going to take the bishop because I actually like the fact that his knight is weak on this square, and if his knight comes out to this square, well, it would just be a little bit stronger, and that is not my goal. You do not want to strengthen your opponent's position. You want to try to weaken it. So now he puts his bishop back on e7. I'm going to push. The reason I'm pushing is because I needed to open my bishop, right? That pawn was blocking my bishop's diagonal, and now you could see it, right? It's powerful and it's good. So take the pawn, although I don't know, that probably wasn't the best because of knight takes. Suppose I could slow down a little bit, but knight to e5 check. His king goes back, and now I just very simply develop another piece. He takes. Now this is an hello gaming with Kasia 4076. I would love to play you and make it very learningful, if that's a word. Feel free to just put your name down, put your username down, or send me a challenge. I would be happy to play you. Now, as I was saying, this is a very instructional point. He saw a check. Um, he may have thought it was mate, but you always got to look out for, that I'm able to take it back. And this is something that a lot of players, I think, miss. So he puts his bishop back. And here's another point, right? Well, actually, we can learn two things from this move. The first thing that we can learn is bishop to d8 is not a good move because it is undeveloping a piece, right? The elo of Levy is 400. Yeah, because I'm trying. The goal of this video is not to beat Levy. The goal of this video is to help people. And I'm playing a Levy elo of 400 in order to make it instructional. Now, I'm not sure what your rating is, but I would be happy to help you out. If you want to put your username in the comments, I can play you and make it instructional for you. So you're welcome to do that. In the meanwhile, I'm going to continue my game with Levy. You're also welcome to send me a challenge if you don't feel comfortable putting your username in the chat. Okay. So bishop to d8 undevelops a piece. It puts it backwards, which we're not trying to do in the opening. And the second thing that it does is what we have to look out for that a lot of beginner players miss is that when a queen or a rook is on the same line, on the same file as the king, then you always have to look out for it. As well with the bishop or queen, if it's on the same diagonal, then you must look out for it. So not only does bishop to d8 undevelop a piece, and not only does it not develop a piece, but it also allows me to have a discovered check, which I can then use to win a rook with knight takes. So if you guys are wondering why a second ago he didn't just take my knight, it was because he was in check. This kind of tactic in chess is called a discovered check. It's when you move a piece out of the way and it allows your piece behind it to give a check to the king. So using this tactic, I was able to win his rook. Um, so I think though my knight is lost, which is fine. I got a rook for it. So in the meantime, I believe just prepare to develop the bishop. Just take the pawn there, I suppose. And he pushes. Now, anyone new here, you're welcome to put your username in the comments. I also have Lee Chess. You can put your username there, or you could challenge me on chess.com. Um, my username is GeekBros123, and I would be happy to play with you and coach you a little bit going through the game. Okay, so now what he allowed me to do was he allowed me to take his knight with check, and after bishop takes, he allowed me now to get my queen down here, even though, yes, he could take my pawn, and he didn't. It allowed me to get my queen down there, which before his knight was blocking, but after I traded off, I was able to get my queen down there and defend his pawn. So you want to have a game two after the analysis. So that's fine. No, I wanted to play you like now, and then we could analyze it as we're going. So you could send me a challenge if you want, and this applies to anyone in the comments. You can send me a challenge. I would be more than happy to have a game with you, or you can put your username in the comments. I would be more than happy to have a game with you, and more than happy to help you analyze as we go on. So, which move did he play? He played Rook B8, which allows a move like Queen to F7 check, and sorry, I'm just going to accept this friend request. It allows queen check, and yes, I would be happy to play you. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to finish with a game with Levy after, and anyone else that wants, they can put their username in the comments. By the way, guys, this is amazing. We have 7 people viewing. I'm extremely happy, and yeah, so I'm gonna play this game. Just to be clear, if you can put it in the comments, gaming with Kashi. This is your account, correct? I'm hoping it is, or at least it's somebody watching the video. Um, but thank you for the coach. Okay, so yeah, it's somebody for the video. Yes, it is indeed his account. Um, Okay, so he goes with the Pirk defense. Personally, I don't recommend this, but um, it's certainly a fine opening, and I'm happy to see how he plays it. He goes knight to knight to f6, attacking my pawn. I'm gonna go and develop it. I'm just gonna go and have a quick look at your rating over here. Okay. So then you go g6, which is a fine move. By the way, for anyone else that's watching, I do also offer um, personal lessons where I'm not on a live stream, so it'd be much easier to communicate with me. And it's for a low price, $13 per hour lesson. And anyone that wants is welcome to sign up for a lesson in order to, get a lot better at chess. Obviously, I'm happy to help everyone. Um, okay, um, so far so good. Um, he is having a fair game. I'm assuming this is all book theory that he knows, and yeah, waiting on him to play his move. Um, so in the meantime, let's analyze the position, right? I'm being careful to say all of my plans because I know that the player I'm playing against is watching and listening to what I'm saying, but let's look at it. So he just developed his bishop. I'm going to castle, which is something that should always happen, almost always happen before move 10. He castles as well. Good job. So far, I am still not seeing anything wrong. Therefore, I think a move like, let's say, You know what? I like e5. The reason I like e5 is because in the opening, after most or all of your pieces have been developed, what you then have to do is you have to make a pawn break. Otherwise, you will not make progress. Pawn takes is fine, and now he's going to move his knight. And I'm not exactly sure where he's going to move it, but I have an idea of what I want to play for the next move. I'm not going to show it because I know that he's watching. But by the way, if anyone else wants to put their username in the comments in the live chat, then after I finish this game, I would be happy to play a game with them. How you say, a learning game, an instructional game with them, as I'm playing with this viewer right now. So he plays knight to h5. And this, I believe, is the first mistake. Now, I'm not sure if he is still watching, but there are multiple ways to avoid this mistake that he has made. Um, I, I'm almost sure that this was a mistake because I have g4, and I believe that the knight is trapped. Okay, you are watching, but not hearing. Um, so, um, so a very instructional point here is that how you can avoid this. Um, how you can avoid this is, and before you go, or you can go, but just let me emphasize this point, is that you have to look for your opponent's threats as well as your own. You have to look what your opponent is trying to do. And as well, moving the knight to the side of the board, it's not very happy here. A move that may have been better, honestly, probably the best move, would have been moving the knight to d7. Moving the knight to d7 is better than moving it to h5 because it. I wish I could show it, but first of all, it unleashes an attack on my pawn. An attack that is very difficult for me to defend. I would likely have pushed the pawn, but moving the knight to the side of the board, even if I'm not going to be able to trap it, is a very difficult thing to do because the knight is inactive there. And so I played g4, and now, even though you get that pawn, and you don't really get this pawn because I'm going to capture it afterwards, but I'm just up a piece, and you don't really have any full stuff to make from it. And by the way, like I keep saying, if anyone else wants to put their username in the live chat, I would be happy to give them a game afterwards. As well, you can learn from other people's games in the meantime, even though it's not your own games. You can learn from it so much, and I would be really happy to teach people. Okay, so he didn't take my pawn. So because of that, I'm going to take his pawn. And I'm going to follow that with the move queen to g2. So for those of you who are tuning in, the instructions that we've had so far is about in the opening, how after stuff like this happens, after the development happens, you got to make a pawn break, which I did, and not moving your pieces to the side of the board, especially knights, and as well watching for your opponent's threats. So back to the game. My opponent defends the threat that I had. I was threatening queen takes g6, and for those of you who are wondering, no, he cannot take after queen takes. Okay, for some reason it won't let me make arrows. He cannot take after queen takes g6 because his pawn is pinned by my bishop. So, anyone else, if they want to put their name there, they're welcome to. So now I'm going to play the move queen to h3. My main goal here, and I don't know if I should be saying this out loud with the, with the player watching this, but I'm gonna anyways. My goal here is to use this file to dominate his king. Um, and how I do that is I bring all my pieces there and I allow everyone to help. And that's really what's most important in the game, is having everybody on your team help the game, help in the play of the game. So I suppose I move my queen back. I actually kind of just want to move it here, even, because, well, I'm not really going to say, because of the player watching, but um, you will all see, and we will keep with this instruction. So we have the move bishop takes. Um, Funny thing here, actually, this is called a windmill. Um, I don't think he actually has a use for the windmill, because, as it happens, all of my pieces are defended, and both my queen and my rook are on dark squares. But this is called a windmill, and it is also very instructional. A windmill is that your opponent's king is trapped, and so you have infinite discover checks. And this is what I was talking about before. If you were here earlier, is that, okay, I'm scared that my opponent is listening to what I'm saying for ideas, but basically, I was discussing before about discovered checks, and I'm just gonna play my move really quickly. Um, I think I'm not listening for ideas, but I'm listening for mistakes. Okay. I want. Okay. So obviously, I need to get out of this whole windmill position. So the move that I am going to play is a little bit of a strange move, I think. The move that I'm thinking of is f3, kind of kind of getting my king to be able to move, but I'm also not happy with the fact that my king is weak, but I'm going to play it anyways. As well, what this move does is it kind of opens my queen up in case he had anything for over here. And I need to be very careful here what I'm doing. And for the millionth time, if anyone wants to put their username in the live chat, I would be happy to play them next. So waiting for my opponent. And so far, except for the knight blunder, he is playing this game exceptionally well. And if you're interested, I would be happy to coach you personally, if you want. No pressure, of course. So he brings his queen to d6. Now I'm not really sure exactly what to do here. Just by the way, because I know that my opponent is listening, I don't want to be playing with the clock. So I'm going to ask you that if I run out of time a little bit, then I want you to add some more time, because I'm not spending all of my time thinking. Obviously, I'm spending a lot of it demonstrating and talking about exactly how to make your game better. So, like I said, anyone want to put their name in the comments, they are absolutely welcome to. Um, let's see. Just thinking of what to do here a little bit. How can I add in game. It's possible. Okay, so let me really quick show you. And if you're just tuning in, hello. You can put your username in the live chat or send me a challenge. I'll be happy to play you after. So I'm gonna ask you to turn on your start watching the video for a second. And tell you can put in the chat when you're in. And I will show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so you see this little button right here is give 15 seconds. I can give tons of time to you. It's just right next to the Flipboard, right next to the resign. Just give 15 seconds, and you could just click that, and I would get a lot more time, and that way we can fully play out this game. Thank you. You can stop whenever you want. Doesn't actually make a huge difference. So, after consideration, I'm going with the move knight to e5 for attacking the queen. And hopefully gonna be able to break through the windmill and still, use this as an instructional game. Okay. Sorry for being quiet, by the way. Everyone here knows that they're welcome to put their username in the chat or, send me a challenge, and I would be happy to play them. But I'm just going to take a second to think about the position. And, yeah. Okay, so he moved his queen to b6, which is, of course, a fine move. I like this move, attacking the pawn, and, yeah. 600 for me is impossible to get through. Okay, well, I would be happy to help you there, of course, Abdullah. I coach multiple players, and I think it would be great for me to coach you. I would very much enjoy it. And yeah. Okay, so as we can see here, this, of course, very instructional. I wanted him to see if he would be able to find, mate one, which he did. And I'm actually very, very impressed with this game. He found in the before now that the game is over, I'm able to talk about it much more easily. And the fact that he found this, I find to be great. This, now to talk a little bit more about it, is called a windmill. Now, what you're trying to do in a windmill, the main goal is that his king is never able to get out, and you're hopefully able to pick up pieces. Thanks for the like, by the way, whoever just did that. I really appreciate it. And by the way, now that that game's done, if anyone else wants to play a game like Abdullah, so great job finding that mate in one. And okay, so this is what I was saying about a windmill. Now I'm actually able to move the pieces around. So over here, I liked the move knight to d4, right? Obviously, I don't think it was the best move, and I don't think okay, there it is. So over here, the moves that you may have had I'm listening for the analysis. I'm hearing the windmill terms, and I like these for the first time. I'm glad to hear you're learning. That's the main point. Um, obviously the awesome thing with chess is that we can always get better, and obviously I'm delighted to be able to help, and I would love to help you further if you were interested in lessons. But as for now, let's just keep it with this. Um, so over here, this windmill. Let's see if I could. Oh, it's okay. Um, Perhaps over here, a move like, I don't know. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. A move like this, just giving a check, and what you're doing is you're forcing basically a windmill. Let me just backtrack a little bit. A windmill is when the king is stuck between two squares, in this case G1 and H1, and you have a discovered check, and you have multiple discovered checks because of it. So, what you're able to do with that is you should be able to win a considerable amount of material, right? It wanted bishop to G3, um, and obviously, um, I don't want to sack my queen, so then king G1 is forced. Bishop to H2, king H1. Okay, so now it wants all the way back to bishop to D6. And you see the point here is that um, you have an infinite amount of discovered checks. Now, obviously, over here I was okay with it because all of my important pieces were either defended or on light squares. Right, my queen and my rook were all on light squares, and my bishop. All of my undefended pieces were on light squares, so I was okay with it. Right, obviously, this rook's undefended, but there's no way you're getting to it. And they were all defended. So I was okay with it. Rook h2, right? You got to bring the rook down, and you as well just got to bring all of your pieces in, right? You're attacking my queen, so queen to f3, and now you just keep attacking. You keep bringing more pieces, and you keep attacking. And sorry, knight d5 wasn't the move. Probably here is much better because you defend, the pawn that's hanging. You attack his bishop, you attack his queen, and something's gonna fall, right? Obviously, over here the rook is not hanging because you take the queen, and something is gonna fall. So this over here is the concept of a windmill. You basically, if you can secure a windmill, the game would be pretty much over. And I'm really happy that you saw that. And first of all, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to make really great videos, and I'm also trying to help out people. You'll see most of my videos are instructional. And now that I finish, thank you so much for subbing. Now that I'm finished with this game, if anyone else wants to put their name in the chat or send me a challenge, I would be more than happy to play them. In the meantime, let's see if it remembers my game from before. Okay, it does. So while waiting for people to put their username in the chat or challenge me, I'm going to. Do you stream on Twitch? I don't really stream on Twitch very often because I find it difficult to use OBS. Out of curiosity, why do you want to know if I stream on Twitch? So while I'm waiting for him to respond, um, so over here we had the check. We're up 15 points of material. And now over here, we see he has a very weak king, but we need to find some way to fully trap it. So I'm going to play the move rook to h1, right? Preparing that discover check, which we saw a little bit of before. Obviously, before it was with a windmill, which is much more powerful. But a regularly discovered check is obviously extremely powerful also. I think this might actually even be mate. No, he can come back down to f3, but I'm just pulling his king down a lot, and because I'm following many streamers on Twitch, I was only asking so I can give you a follow there. I suppose I could start trying to stream more there, If you want, I could. I'm pretty sure my username is Geep Rose and Chess, the same way it is here. I'll put it um, in the chat. There you go, Geep Rose and Chess. I'm pretty sure that's my Twitch stream. I'm not often on there, but I could try to go on there more often, if I have viewers, of course. But let's finish up this game. So it looks like he's very close to getting mated. But over here, we also have to be very careful because we don't want him to escape. So to cut off his access to the e-file, I'm going to go rook to e1. Just making sure he can never get there. And now mate will come much easier. I'm not saying immediately, but it will take much quicker. For example, rook to f1, bishop blocks, and that's checkmate. If anyone else now wants to put their username in the comments or chat or whatever you guys want to call it, I would be happy to. Wait, you don't want to stay and watch the show? Like, I appreciate you watching. It's great. I also would love to help you or play you if you want to play me. Um, but if anyone else wants to put their username in the chat or challenge me, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, let's game review this game with the 400 rated Levy Rosman, and let's see if I could. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment. That way, I could switch it to the game review. Okay, now you guys could all see it. 88% accuracy, not bad. But let's see how I could have done better. Right, so bishop to c5. I actually, believe it or not, I actually see this even in my own games against players rated 1600, 1500, 1700, whatever it is. I see this very often. Knight takes is the best. He really is just giving away a free pawn. So he wanted me to push because bishop is attacked, and then I can go there. Right? Show follow up. So he was supposed to attack my knight, but moves his bishop back. Then obviously, I play knight there, and now my position holds together a lot better. So I had not such a great move with queen to e2, but it was a good move. Not great, not best, not excellent, but it was not a terrible move. It was a good move. It defends this, and it defends this. So it's not terrible. G5. Now, this is what I often do with my students. I often ask them to play a game with me or with a bot that's rated around their level. And what I ask them to do is every single move, I ask them, why are you playing this move? Because every move in chess has a reason. Every single move in chess has a reason. So I ask them, why are you playing this move? What is the reason for it? And if they can't find an answer, then they shouldn't be playing that move. Okay. So b4, I try to kick the queen away, right? They still want me to push there. Let's see. So they want me to, after this, they want me to go there. Bishop can't take because I have there, which is a fork. And so I would be kicking their bishop away, getting a better center. So I didn't make an awesome move, but just to show this is why you shouldn't. Thanks for the analysis. What is your rapid rating? So my rapid rating is at the moment, if you want an exact, I know it's around 1600, but I can give you an exact rating if you would like. 1626. So yeah, I don't know exactly how high rated you are, but 1626. Okay. Taking this queen away, I fianchetto the bishop. They kick my knight and move back. I castle. He puts his bishop back, and now I push. An excellent move. That's great. Keep going, bro. Yo, can I get a sub? Like, I don't regularly ask this, but can I get a sub? Um, and back to the analysis. Um, this is another reason why I ask my students who, you guys can be part of if you want, um, to say out loud to me every move before they play it, because it helps them realize why. Thank you so much for the sub, Shadow. It helps them realize why am I playing this move? Because, like I said, every move in chess has a reason. We don't want to go playing moves for no reason. So I take the pawn, knight takes, knight to e5, getting a really powerful and nice knight there. Queen takes, obviously not a good move. I don't know how it falls into the category of just a mistake. I could just take his queen. And now this, I said before, was an instructional move. The move bishop to d8 because of the queen line, right? We always have to look out for stuff like this. We must always look out for it. When the queen is aligned with the king, we have to look out for discovered checks. And he just allowed this to happen. Like, he gave it to me, right? So there, I got his rook. Like I said, he cannot take me because he is in check. The king is worth more than the knight. Fun fact, by the way, if you ever play in a blitz tournament, like an over-the-board blitz tournament, kings are capturable. It's really funny. So I got the rook. I managed to trade off the knight and then get my queen down there. Mate in 4, which I apparently missed. There was queen takes bishop, but I ended up mating him in a few anyways. Doesn't exactly matter how long it took. So yeah, so that was that game. I'm hoping to play somebody else. Shadow, if you don't mind, I would love to play you. I would love to help you. This is why I have a channel. This is why I give lessons. I love helping people play chess. Okay, so if anyone wants to put their name down in the live chat, if not, I would be happy playing Levy again. Maybe up the rating a little bit this time, just to make it a little more instructional. I know that game was very, very quick and very, very, bad on his part. So I guess I'll just play Levy again if nobody else is going to put their name. Although I would love to play Shadow. Okay. Let's go back. I'm going to fix my screen share yet again to homos.com. And okay. Play bots. Okay. Just find 600, I guess, somewhere here. Let's see. Oh, beginner. Here we go. One second. Yeah, let's go with this. Random color. Okay, I'm white. Anyone else want to put their username in the comments? I will obviously stop this game to play with them because my viewers are obviously much, much more important than, some bots. So I would be happy to play them instead of bots because bots don't learn from chess games. The rating always stays the same, as opposed to you. If you have my training, then I will love to help you, overcome any rating problems you might have, and just love to help you all together. Got to get right. See, this is the thing we had before, the discovered check. Luckily, I'm able to castle, get out of it easily. Okay, fine. So I'll stop this game, play with Learn 87D, because obviously you guys are much more important than bots. And, if nobody else puts their username in the comments, I will finish this game. Okay, so let's see. 9:45. I don't know how much I'll be able to. I don't regularly coach 9:45s. Regularly my limit is 800, but I would be still I would still be happy to play you. And hopefully we could still learn, some cool stuff from it. Um, not saying you're 667. That's weird. Okay, send challenge, and okay, he should accept it any moment. And this game can hopefully also be very, very instructional. By the way, for any of you watching, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Um, and I wonder why he's not accepting the challenge. Anyone else want to send me a challenge in the meantime, or put their username in the comments? I'd be happy to play them before or after this guy, depending on how long he takes, and we can learn a lot from it. We can learn so much from just a game. It is actually like kind of unbelievable. But I'm just going to play this guy now. Like before, I'm hoping that we can give each other infinite time. So you go to the French defense. I like the French defense. It's uh, it's kind of difficult to play against, but I do play against it like actually kind of often. Um, so he brings his knight out. I do the same. Now, um, I'm just gonna wait for him to play his move. For some reason now it doesn't allow you to add time, so he pins my knight. Um, I suppose he just pin his knight back, to be honest. He castles, and I mean, I could just take now, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take. Queen takes. Now, pawn takes. This pawn is not hit because of my queen. Even though it will be very difficult for me to keep this pawn, for the time being, I will have it, and hopefully I will be able to keep it. Just out of curiosity, who is still here? Just, I guess, random question, kind of. Um, so now I have a piece pinned, really annoying. So I'm going to want to castle. Oh, he's gambiting the pawn a little bit. Um, I'm gonna take. It does give him development, but I get to keep my pawn, and now I gotta defend this pawn. And hopefully I should castle, which will move the pin on the bishop and the pin on the knight. Um, so I should be able to use those. Um, so obviously his goal is to win my pawn back after multiple exchanges, but I'm okay with it. Because there is a whole combination here where after multiple pieces get captured, I will be able to win his pawn back um, very easily, and he will actually not end up winning a pawn. So I guess he's not listening because I just said that he's not going to win a pawn because after takes, and there's probably going to be a whole bunch of exchanges here, right? Like knight takes. Now I have bishop takes. That's why I said I was going to win a pawn. I mean, I was going to keep my pawn. Not win it because, obviously he took a pawn, but I'm still up my pawn from before. Now this is looking scary. Because now a lot of the moves that I play will lose pieces, so I have to be very, very careful. As they say, I'm walking on eggshells or Lego pieces, whatever it is. So I have to be really careful. So I kind of threaten his bishop a little bit while getting my queen out of danger, right? So remember what I said before about the sorry, I'll flip it back. I'll go back for a second. Remember what I said before about the king, being lined up. I'm really not afraid of that check, but the king being lined up. Um, and it's kind of the same thing with the queen, right? We want to watch out for discovered attacks. Obviously, they're not discovered checks, but they are discovered attacks on the king. So I'm going to put the game back and play my move. This is a forced move, so it doesn't take me very long. But So he is able to take that pawn. Obviously the check was a fork, but I also get his pawn. So I'm not doing terribly. I'm up a pawn. It is a side pawn, but the benefit of it being a side pawn is that it's a passed pawn. So I don't know what the rating range of my viewers is right now, but a passed pawn is very powerful, way more powerful than just a regular pawn. Because what's the main goal of a pawn, right? Obviously, the main goal of a pawn is promotion, right? Without promotion, a pawn is kind of dull. It's just a pawn. It can only move forward, and its captures are not that good. Hold up, just give me 1 second. Sorry, that's just my dog. I'm just going to go to a different area. Sorry about that. So now I do have a pinned piece, but I can get out of it very easily. By the way, I'm curious to see whether or not he might hang this tactic that I have, which would be skewer a little bit. By the way, I am attacking his queen, yes. But it's defended as well. My queen's defended. So let's see what he will play. By the way, anyone else wants to go next, they're welcome to put their username in the comments also, or send me a challenge. I would be happy to play a nice instructional game with them. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to play. I'll play this move. I think. I'm kind of doubting myself a little bit. If he takes my rook, I take his rook. Takes, and I just up a pawn. Although he can go there. No, he can't. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm kind of sacrificing the queen a little bit. Hopefully he's not listening. Because if he takes, he actually gets, believe it or not, he gets mated. So he cannot take my queen. As well, now I'm threatening, to just take his rook, of course. And obviously, even though it's defended, I'm threatening something a little bit more powerful than that. Since now my queen is kind of immortal because it can't be taken because of the because of the pin. There is obviously a little bit of a different tactic there, and the tactic is, well, I'm kind of scared to say it out loud, but the tactic is a skewer. Now, for those of you who don't know what a skewer, it's my move. For those of you who don't know what a skewer is, so actually, he finds a good move. He pushes his pawn. He realizes, or he heard me say it, that this is mate. That he can't take because it's mate. So takes. Queen takes. Now I have a fun move to play. I play check. The reason check is a fun move is because afterwards, right? The reason I couldn't, right, afterwards I have bishop there. The reason I couldn't play bishop there before is very simple. My queen is hanging. I mean, it's not hanging, but queen takes, bishop takes, and there's no skewer. But after the check, now I have the skewer, and my queen isn't hanging. So I don't know if there's a way for him to get out of this, but let's find out. Okay, so he's gonna try to get out of it. It's weird because before it was saying his rating was 67, 667, 6767. Now it's saying his 945. Maybe that was his bullet rating. Let's check all stats. His bullet rating is 667. So that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So that's his bullet rating. Okay, I'm just going to close this because it makes the board unseeable. Without a board that we can see, we can't teach, of course. So he may have just gotten out of it with the move queen to f8, pinning my bishop to my queen. I might be able to find a way to keep the skewer, but... Oh, actually, queen to c6 re-threatens his rook. Kind of pins his rook a little bit. Nah, he can for sure get out of that one. It's too bad. My queen doesn't have any of them, like, checks because of his knight. Right? So I can't just go, like, queen check and then take his rook. Because, first of all, his queen is there. Second of all, his knight is there. There are way too many pieces there for me to try to do anything, with check. So let's take this as one of the instructional moments of the game. He may have thought, well, I'm just skewered. I lose. But he looked around, and he looked, and he found something, right? And he calculated, because rook d8 also loses. Because after bishop takes and rook takes, I'm going to get a pawn, and now I'm up 2 pawns. And now there's no way you're winning when I'm up 2 pawns. So he looked, and he found the pin. Right? Obviously, there's all these arrows here from before. And now he definitely could get out of this. Question is, will he? Because I still believe this is my best move. Now, he has a move to get out of this. I'm not going to say it. You know what? How about you guys, the viewers? Try to find the way to get out of this position. It seems like all of his pieces are just being attacked. His rook is pinned to his queen. His knight is under attack. His rook is also under attack from my bishop. You guys, the viewers, try to find a way out of this. This is also a very instructional moment. Try to find a way out of it. And if you do, make sure to put it in live chat, because this is definitely very instructional. Sorry, I'm just going to set all of these. By the way, I have a club. I don't really use it because there's not very many people there. I'll open it in another tab. I'll show you guys in a minute. But let's see if I can find it. Clubs. I have a club for my YouTube channel that I use. And by the way, like I said before, this still stands. Anyone before he moves wants to try to find the move that he clearly couldn't. So now, obviously, or maybe this move does work. Because if I take his rook, he's taking my queen. If I take his queen, he's taking my rook with mate. So I can obviously get out of this with just a move like queen there. Queen to c4. This could have actually been a really good move. With a mate threat. That's actually pretty impressive that he saw that. So I'm going to start with the move. If Let's say address the elephant in the room, as they say. Checkmate is being threatened. If I go there, he'll push. By the way, if you're watching this, can you please give me some time, please? Like I said, this is not about clocks. This is about, I also have to spend time explaining it. And if anyone else wants to put their username in the comments, they're welcome to. But this is about explaining the video. This is not about stuff like actually it's about explaining the game. Right? So I have to spend my time, explaining the moves and stuff like that, which obviously, you don't have to do. So I would appreciate if you could send me some time or something like that. And yeah. So he pushes, right? Obviously, the move I expect him to play because, a king move, then it would be let's just say it would be much easier um, for me to defend this. But here's the thing though. Bishop takes, and after pawn takes, his king will be open. Now, I might be down a piece for 2 pawns after this. I didn't fully calculate because I'm on 1 minute and 15 seconds. Um, but now I have a move like queen here with check. Um, that way, my queen's not under attack. And I could very, very possibly save this and, you know, end this game. So he plays yet another very interesting move there. And I'm honestly running out of time, and he's not likely to give me more. So that's why I'm like going fast because I'm rushing. I have to explain the game as well as try to play it well, at the same time. So it's not seeming to work very well. I'm kind of like rushing, of course. Um, and I'm asking him to give me time. If you're listening, please. I could also text him. Please give me time. Let's see. So yeah, I'm on 30 seconds, and I was on low time the whole game because I'm trying to explain it, and I don't play well on low time control, right? Y'all can see, um, my rating. Well, you can't see, but my rating um is decent on on rapid, but it's bad on blitz or bullet or stuff like that. So I can't play in these quick time controls. Um, so I'm gonna lose this game on time, guys. I'm telling you, which is kind of annoying. I have a reputation, and you know, I have a lot of viewers that are expecting me to win, but I have 36 seconds because I'm having to explain this game to you guys, which is really too bad. So yeah, y'all. Yeah, I mean, this game is almost over. We both have low time on the clock. I don't know why it was working before to add time, but now it's just not. Now it's just not seeming to work. Um. Oh, I know why. I think we might have to be friends. I think that if we're friends, it'll be much easier to add time. Um. So I sent him a friend request. I don't know if he responded, but um I think it must be that we're friends. Like only people who are friends. Me and the other guy were friends, so we were able to we were able to make it that um we could add time with each other. I sent him a friend request. I don't know if he accepted. I don't think he accepted. Um and Yeah, this is probably going to be the last game. I'm going to sign off after this. Um, and I really enjoyed, you know, playing with you guys and teaching you guys, right? So I'm really impressed. He found mate. Like I said, I wasn't able to play on such a time control, um, where I'm like rushing with my moves, and it didn't work well for me. Um, and as for um, Shadow, I would love to play you again in a longer time control or in a setting where I don't have to explain all the moves out loud. Just Shadow, I'm inviting you directly to messagemychess.com. I want to keep in touch with you as well. Anyone else that wants, I would be happy to keep in touch with them. Um, and Yeah, I'm signing off for now. Keep Rose in chess. I'll see you next time. Um, and yeah.